Well,
from there,
let me stop you
10,
for 1
15.
second. I didn't even know that this building was for sale. Now, what's the appraised value for the building?
We didn't get an appraisal done, so I don't have a recent appraisal.
Neenah, Wisconsin. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Homeless people are napping on the sofa. That sounds familiar. We've left this guy messages. He doesn't bother to return calls, so it's going to be a matter of getting lucky, I think. Here we go.
This number is different than that number. This is his personal cell.
You got a new number. Yep. Good job.
Yep.
Here we go.
Hello.
Andy.
Yes.
Andy, my name's Danny. I'm looking at some commercial space here in Neenah. Got your number from the website. I am interested in becoming a tenant.
Which space?
There's a Coin Laundromat over here.
Correct.
That is what I do. Coin Laundries. My partner and I, we scout existing stores in order to build on this empire I've created. And when we see underperforming locations, you know, old equipment, poor procedures, all the things that I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and harp on, we reach out. You know, I'm interested in signing a lease with you, retooling the store, putting new equipment in. I want to be clear. I'm not a broker. I don't look to sell my laundromats. We become your guarantor and do it better. This is not the worst laundromat I've seen, but it is most certainly not the best. And, you know,
I understand.
We're not looking at a phone book and throwing darts here. We're actually scouting the locations. There's always differences, you know, but the preponderance of what they're not doing right is fairly new equipment, really weird operating hours. This place has couches in there, which I would never do. It's just not a good idea in a laundromat.
Stop it. Get some help.
But
understand.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a homeless haven. In fact, they like to sleep in there, and 24-hour stores work better. But who cares? You know, you're not a laundromat guy, Andy. I don't frequent laundromats, neither do you. I want to run more of them. And if it makes sense, if the rent rolls are a bit off, I'm not asking about that. I'm not looking for specifics. I just want to know if and when we can become a tenant, and I can spend my money on washers and dryers and proper operating procedures. Maybe never. Maybe they're a great client and they run a fantastic laundry and I'm just crazy. But if and when you're in that Monday meeting, you say, hey, I've got an operator who wants to become a really strong business here, and I think it would be a good fit. Maybe they're late. Maybe they're in arrears. I don't know. That's your business. Mine is laundries.
I know that they're looking to retire in the next 3 to 5 years. They own this building and the laundromat in it. They bought the laundromat from somebody else about 10 years ago, and they, believe it or not, did stick a decent amount of money into new equipment and machines and things, but not all of them. They have 5 new machines on order. It nets about 35 grand a year and maybe some cash, maybe $100 a week taken. Is kind of what I've learned.
Yeah.
And I have the listing to sell the whole building because they didn't, you know, approach me. I've known them for a long time. They didn't approach me to sell the laundromat business. They approached me to sell the real estate. So the investment of the whole building with them re-signing a lease there for $2,800 a month, triple net. Would you be an investor to purchase the whole building, or are you only looking to purchase the laundromat and be a tenant?
Firstly, Andy, I appreciate all of the background. That's great information. Having a landlord / operator as the same entity, that also fits into our plan, and we can probably help. To answer your question directly, we are not currently buying properties for obvious reasons. I don't, we're looking for the cash flow from more laundromats through this recession that we are in. That said, the numbers that you're quoting are dismal, to say the least. And 10-year-old equipment in a laundromat is basically might as well be 100-year-old equipment. So what we can do, and if this works, I'd like to wedge our way into a discussion with said landlord / operator. Hey, we'll sign a lease and they'll probably be, well, they'll certainly be netting more than 30 grand a year. So it should be an obvious fit. Those facts and figures, okay, they're walking away from a little bit of cash, which is different. But the tipping point has to be what they're earning in the laundromat versus what they can earn in rent. And guess what? If they want to sell the building, imagine selling it in a year or two with a brand new, thriving laundromat in place. New stainless steel equipment. You know, all I have are words, Andy, so I'll try to paint a picture. We run our stores 24/7. I don't want to have to lock the doors at night or open them in the morning. That's part of it. You know, having a successful empire, it's the everything. But this is just the inception of this talk. You've got their ear. Talk to them. Hey, when you're in the Monday meeting, you could be the hero and say, look, I've got an idea, a concept. There's a million ways to skin this cat. And they bought the building and or later purchased the business rights. And I don't want to buy the business rights, and we're not buying businesses. But again, imagine a beautiful, bright...
So you're not looking to purchase a laundromat. You're just looking to be the tenant.
No, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. I don't provide key fees to landlords for their laundromat that they've been running. In a zero-sum game, it doesn't make sense. I don't want to give them money for their business based on what? You know, where would that... businesses are bought and sold based on profit, nothing more, nothing less. Yes, it's a laundromat.
Yep.
But we're after infrastructure, cards on the table. I'm after the gas, water, and electric that's already in the walls. Whatever they paid for it.
Yeah, that's...
Go ahead.
And that's, so I can tell you, so we've had, oh gosh, in the last week and a half since we put it on the market, about 10 inquiries. And I have 3 interested buyers, 2 of which who want to buy the laundromat business as well as the real estate. And he, at first when we listed it, he was going to sign the lease and look at just doing the business or running that business until he could sell it at some point.
Let me stop you for 1 second. I didn't even know that this building was for sale, because you understand, we're physically scouting locations, reaching out to the agent or landlord, i.e. you. So I didn't even know. So let's play the game. What's this? I didn't even know it was listed for sale. What's the sale price?
For the whole building, it's $825 is the asking price.
$825K for the entire building, the dirt, the parking lot, the laundromat. Now, what's the appraised value for the building?
We didn't get an appraisal done, so I don't have a recent appraisal. But it's an 8.25 cap rate.
Okay.
He's trying to sell the laundromat. He's asking if somebody buys the laundromat from him and takes over the lease. He's asking $169 for it.
There's this right in the center of this discussion. You want to sell me a building in the dirt? Great. Tell me what the bank appraisal is. I'll try to offer you under that. If there is no appraisal, we're at a zero-sum game. If you're pricing the laundromat, that would be my next question, at $169. Now you're valuing the building at somewhere between, $690 and $700.
No, they're totally separate.
Okay, totally separate.
He's asking for the business, for the equipment, for the business, $169.
Okay.
The real estate, based on there's a total of 5 tenants in there, so the real estate is valued, in my opinion, at an 8.25 cap based on the NOI of the whole building. So with the laundromat paying the $2,800 a month in rent, which is what the current owner of the laundromat pays himself for rent.
I understand.
So the building, that's that amount. Now that actually is probably a little bit light, to be honest with you, for 3,200 square feet to pay $2,800 a month. But it's that's around what, $9 a square foot, $9.50. So I mean, it's there. It's within reason.
That's a great rental rate.
Yeah.
I understand precisely where you're coming from. Like I said, my group is not purchasing real estate currently. I am a player for leasing the laundry. Now, let's back up. If he's able to find a buyer that wants to buy the plaza, and I assume that the landlord only operates one business, the laundromat.
Yes, he only operates the laundromat in that building.
So he's looking for a micro niche, of a buyer. He's looking for someone that says, yeah, I want to buy more real estate. I'm looking for a strip mall and a laundromat. All I'm saying, Andy, if that doesn't come through and you're not able to find that unique niche buyer, we want to become a tenant. We want to spend a few $100,000 on washers and dryers and proper procedures. And then maybe he revisits the sale in a year and raises his price because the anchor tenant can become that laundromat, i.e. us. I hope that makes sense. But
No, it makes perfect sense. I'm trying to tell you, his first priority is to sell the real estate with him in there as the tenant, because he's happy to continue running his business.
Sure.
However, if some of the buyers who have approached me also want to own the laundromat, including the real estate. So that's that niche buyer that he doesn't need that or necessarily even wanted that up front, but he's willing to maybe exit that business and let somebody else purchase the business from him and take it over.
We are,
but he's not.
Sure. I understand you completely, and it sounds as though you understand me as well. I'm Danny. My partner's name is Mr. Grell. Text me your email address, and I'll send you an email with some of the photos of my stores, what we do, how we do it, etc. If we fit into this thing, great. You know, this isn't a cold call. We've visited the location, but I also was not aware of the sale. And it sounds like you know what you're doing. You will do well either way. If he wants to lease the spot, fantastic. Because then the bigger difference.
And a new buyer might say, hey, we'll lease it to you. In which Mark could just pass that lease. You could sign a new lease with the new landlord if somebody buys it and they don't buy the business.
That was exactly my next phrase. Who knows if and when, who, but, where, how, when the new landlord takes over, they don't want to run a laundry, give us a jingle. Text me your email, my friend. Yeah. We'll talk.
Absolutely. I'll do it right now.
Thanks, bro. All right. Well, there's a lot of back and forth for both of us to end up in the same position, which is, hey, we were not aware that they were trying to sell this place, and I don't blame them for trying to do so. But at the end of the day, you've got no bank appraisal for a building, and you think, well, this is the. Could you hear how he just stopped dead in his tracks when I said, "What's the appraised value?" Did you notice? He was like.
He's and the cap and what it's making in rent at an 8 cap or whatever. He's adding all that up and going, they don't know what it's worth.
Great. So what happens in 6 months when the next pandemic comes down the pike and all those businesses fail? Now what's the building?
Right. Right. That's
he
what's in there.
He also said, and I see you put in the notes, they're netting $30,000 a year in 2,800 square feet, and they're allocating rent to themselves in the amount of $9 per square foot. You want this place, and you want to lease this place. And when he says we've got 3 people, I think it was 3 that want to buy the building and run the laundromat, that's a little fudge. Why didn't they sell it already? You know the guy.
Right. Well, he did say they put it last week, but I mean, I don't know. It wasn't for sale last I checked, but
dude, you better up the price. You better raise the price when you got people lining up that want to run a laundromat. And he said it's valued at $169. It's not bad. That's cheap. You should buy it. Not our thing. That's what people start thinking. Trust me.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.